am going to explain you about the topic punctuation. In English language, we have different kinds of punctuation marks like question mark, quotation marks, hyphen, colon, semicolon. Why we are using punctuation in written language? That means to give a complete meaning, like to give pause, to give if you use full stop, it gives a meaning completion of a sentence. Like to give a clear cut idea in written language, we are using different kinds of punctuation marks. Let me explain you with one example. Here I wrote a sentence. Richard wants to marry Rose. Richard wants to marry Rose. Richard wants to marry Rose. Here the three sentences are same, but after completion of a sentence I use different punctuation marks. First one is full stop, second one is exclamation mark, third one is question mark. If we consider first example, Richard wants to marry Rose. That means it is a complete sentence giving a meaning that Richard is ready to marry Rose. That means he likes to marry Rose. In the second sentence, Richard wants to marry Rose, we are giving a sudden expression whether Richard is ready to marry Rose. When it comes to third sentence, Richard wants to marry Rose, here we are using question mark. That means, is Richard ready to marry Rose? Is Richard wants to marry Rose? That means with the punctuation marks we are changing the meaning of a sentence. Here I want to explain you with another example. You can see another example. Sir, your daughter is first class in beer. Sir, your daughter is first class in beer. In the first sentence, we didn't use any period or full stop in abbreviation beer. In the second sentence, we are using full stop after B for abbreviation. If we don't use full stop for abbreviation, it is giving a complete meaning. Here meaning is BED, bed. But in comes to second sentence, it means Bachelor of Education. You can see with these sentences how a punctuation mark is changing the meaning of a sentence. Here we have different punctuation marks. For example, if we take first one, question mark. When we use question mark, for example, we are asking something to a person. For example, we are asking a student, do you like tea or coffee? Or to which place you belongs to? Or do you like which subject? Like we are asking question. That means ask a question. Second one is quotation mark. When we use quotation mark, if we want to say denote or if we want to say denoted by someone, we can use quotation mark. For example, Lakshmi said Rani is beautiful. That means Rani is saying about Rani, that is she is beautiful. That means when we use it, show what is said. Ellipses. We denote ellipses by 3 dots. When we use ellipses after a sentence, that means still that needs to be continued. That means shows that parts of the sentences are left. Full stop. When we use full stop after completion of a sentence, we use full stop. That means I am working at Jahirabad. That means that is a complete sentence. We are using after completion of a sentence. That means end a sentence. Next one is single dash. When you use single dash to separate independent clauses. Next one is exclamation mark. When you use exclamation mark to denote a sudden expression. That means it emphasizes a story feeling. Hyphen. When we use hyphen to join words together. If we take some examples like sister-in-law, brother-in-law, mother-in-law, father-in-law. To join those words, we use hyphen. Next one is semicolon. Semicolon means link item of a sentences. To link the sentences, we are using semicolon. Next one is colon. Colon means introduce a list. For example, we are using colon after food. That means we can include the items in food like apples, bananas, groceries, everything. These all items comes under food. In that situation, we can use colon after food. comma. When you use comma, separate items in a list. For example, we are using a comma in a sentence. That means to give pause, we can use comma. These are the generally used punctuation marks.